Good mythical morning, everyone. It's the notorious, glorious V, the Guerrilla Economist, coming to you live on this illustrious Monday morning, Martin Luther King Day. It is freezing. I am freezing my, for lack of a better word, man. I'm just freezing, man. It's ridiculous. I'm wearing gloves. The cold is going through my gloves. I'm wearing boots, like winter boots, with like socks, and the cold is going through that. Oh my god! I looked at the temperature reading outside is like 3 degrees. 3. I think the high is going to be like 9. I mean, it's crazy. It's freaking cold. I can't believe how cold it is. Wow, just unbelievable cold. So I'm just sitting here in the office. I got the heat going on, and the heat is I have it on full blast. Have it on full blast. It is freezing. Anyway, live from the Arctic tundra that is the Empire State, Nuevo York, aka New York, the Rotten Apple. I'm coming to you live, guys, as we feed, as you know. And again, check out our sponsors, mycbdedibles.com, mycbdedibles.com, as well as you can also check out Watch Us Trade, watchustrade.live or watchustrade.io or what.live or whatever the heck it is you want the live. It's the place to be. You want to be in cryptos, man. You really, really need to be in cryptos. Big league. Very, very big league is what you want to do. Cryptos is going to have a turnaround shortly. And I promise you that. Why? I know more than most people because I'm in it to win it. Not only that, I'm also in the OTC world brokering some major crypto deals, one of which is going to come to fruition. It might be publicized. I don't know yet. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, so check it out, watchustrade.io, watchustrade.io, or you can go to wt.live. The links are in the description box, folks. You can also go to remaincalm.net, remaincalm.net. Don't freak out, remain calm. Whatever you need to do, whether you need the blockchain trust to avoid a high income taxes. Excuse me. Wow. I just choked on my saliva. High income taxes. From your crypto profits or the 1099K buster, whatever you need help with. X will do that. That's all done through Ace of Coins. Ace of Coins is the ones who are responsible for that. So check it out. Also, you got the lifetime membership for the crypto school, where you learn about cryptos. You have the video education series, learn how to, the basics of crypto. $100 for life. $100 for life. Check it out. Cryptoschool.io. And if you want to go one-on-one with a great one, and now's the time to do it. You can book a one-on-one sessions with yours truly right there. Go to the book the 1 hour with V. Check it out. It's pretty awesome. Amazing funding program, whether you want to get personal funding, business funding, whatever the heck it is you want to do. Up to $800,000 for personal funding based upon your credit score and whatnot. And it's all unsecured, which is the best. Or if you need business funding, I think the cap, dude. I mean, I think they got like 25 million up in business funding. All of it again unsecured with loans and lines of credit. It's pretty awesome. The asset protection program. If you got debt issues, you got people coming after you trying to not hit you up for money that you owe. Before you just hand over cash, throw good money on bad money. Give Remain Calm a call. Go check out their asset protection program. They will protect you from liens and levies. These guys are the best that there is at what they do. So check that out. Anyway, folks, with that out of the way, let's get into it. Let's get into it. A lot of things are going on, as you know. There's a lot of things. And one of the things I want to discuss as we get into this day, as we get into all this stuff. Give me 1 second. We got El Cuco is out still, so again, rough time for him and his family. So check it out. So please pray for him, hold him up. Folks, I don't know all the particulars. I don't know, if there actually is some sort of a good guy, bad guy war. I'm sure there is. That I know of. But I don't know if there's an orchestrated plan, which there might be, to take down some of these miscreants. Or if this whole entire thing is a well-construed political theater, a kabuki theater, if you will, a theater of the profane, to dull our minds, to make us believe something that is not true, because the debate rages. The debate rages to this day. The one side of the alt world is all about QAnon, the other side is not. This, that, and the other. So we don't know exactly what the deal is. I think I still think, and I maintain, even though I got colleagues that disagree with me, I still think it's a psyop. I still think it's I'm waiting. I'm waiting like everybody else. But one of the things that I do see is right on cue that when America, or when there is some sort of a leadership in the United States that tries to take away or tries to move us in a direction that is completely different than our current trajectory, the trajectory that we've been on for God knows how many decades, all of a sudden you would have false flags. Trump announced, weeks ago that he's going to pull out troops from Syria. What happened? Boom. American troops get killed. They get killed. And then yesterday morning, late last night, Israel announced sustained attacks on Damascus. Syria fires back in a major escalation. The level of stupidity, the level of sycophant-like behavior, I don't know what it is with the neocons. I don't know what it is with the neolibs. I don't know what it is with the Zionists. I don't know. What is this penchant that they have with perpetual war or perpetual debt? What is this penchant they have? They have this obsession, an insane obsession. It's the first time that Israel has ever announced strikes against Iran inside Syria and in real time. Moments after a massive wave of rockets were fired on Damascus, activating Syrian anti-air defenses Sunday night, the Israeli Defense Forces announced that we have started striking Iranian Quds targets in Syrian territory. We warned the Syrian armed forces against attempting to harm Israeli forces. Like, what the? Look at the gall. Look at the balls, the absolute brazen balls that the Netanyahu administration has, that the Israeli government has towards Syria. We're going to hit Iranian targets. Now, Iranian target simply means whatever the hell they want to hit, so long as it doesn't have a Russian flag on top of the building, because they dare not hit that. But Iranian targets, which whatever they believe is to be an Iranian target, whether it's a facility that's strategically viable for the Syrian people, maybe it's a water treatment plant, maybe it's a power plant, maybe it's a hospital, maybe it's a pharmaceutical manufacturing facility, whatever is beneficial, some maybe an infrastructure target, a bridge, a tunnel, whatever the hell it is, you can simply white label Iranian target on top of it, and that gives them the pretext to strike. And then they warned the Syrians, we're going to hit you, but you better not hit us back. Like, what insane world are these idiots living in? It's an unprecedented, given that in every other among the dozens of prior recent Israeli attacks on Syria, the IDF have never acknowledged responsibility so quickly, and certainly not while they are ongoing, usually declining to confirm and or deny after the event. 12 hours prior, the IDF said that its Iron Dome aerial defense system intercepted a Syrian rocket fired into the northern Golan Heights after Israel launched a prior rare daylight raid on Syria on the international airport southwest of Damascus. According to the Syrian military officials, in what marks a major escalation, it appears Damascus responded to that attack with what Israeli media has called an intentionally fired offensive service. Like, what? Again, Syrian forces are winning. Bashar al-Assad is winning. What the hell, pray tell, do they gain from attacking Syria to attack Israel with a rocket? What in God's name do they think is happening? What in God's name do they think? I mean, this is stupidity on the highest levels. No, that rocket did not come from Damascus. I guarantee you there were terrorist proxy forces that had control of whatever lame rocket, make it a Katushka. And notice they didn't identify the rocket. They're not going to simply fire a rocket. It's either a missile and or rockets, plural. It's either a missile or rockets, plural. Now, we know that Syria didn't fire a missile because we clear on radar screens all over the place. But a rocket. Syria doesn't have weapon systems that fire a rocket. They have MLS, multi-launch rocket systems. Systems that can fire multiple rockets at once, not a rocket. So Israel's Iron Dome, which is a absolute failure of an air defense system, shoots down a rocket. I guarantee you it was most likely a Katushka rocket. I guarantee you that it was a terror group or a proxy group that was already in Mossad/CIA control. The deep state's at it again, folks. The deep state is at it again. And that rocket was shot over into the Golan. That one freaking rocket. No ballistics have been done. No trajectory has been analyzed. We're just supposed to believe Netanyahu's administration, take their word for it. A rocket. Okay, fine. The rocket came across. What did you do? You shot it down with your Iron Dome. Okay, fine. Great. Then what? Oh, conveniently, the rocket now gives you the pretext to go ahead and strike targets in Syria. And conveniently, you get to use the white label name Iranian targets and hit out Assad. This is ridiculous. According to Syrian military officials, in what marks a major escalation, it appears Damascus responded to the attack with what the Israeli media has called an intentionally fired offensive surface-to-surface attack. What is the intent? Just when we are finding out that we are absolutely free, that they are absolutely free, from ISIS, just when it was divulged that the main leader in ISIS is an American citizen, folks. Can you believe that? Let me see if I could pull up the guy's name. This is the guy who's succeeded Baghdad, blah, 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 al-Baghdadi, whatever the hell his name is. I'm going to type it in right now. American, putting it to my phone. American leader of ISIS. Yes, I'm going to call it USIS. Right. Still call him. This guy's the newest guy. New American leader rises in ISIS. He's after a 2-year investigation. This is by the Atlantic. One of the very few Americans in the Islamic State's upper ranks sheds light into the radical nature of radicalization. The radical nature of radicalization. There's many articles of him. The American climbing the ranks of ISIS. Oh, yeah. His name is John Georgiou. Oh, yeah. Military brat. Precocious underachiever born in Texas. Now he's a prominent figure within the Islamic State. Here's a troubling journey. And they got this entire narrative on this guy. And he's just one of the Americans. That's the leader of ISIS. John Georgiou. All right, Johnny boy. Another Jihad Johnny. And then we have this guy. Okay, then we have this guy. His name is a little more complicated. You got a David Wright who changed his name to Daoud. Okay, Daoud, whatever his name is. Then we got another guy who's also American, Abu Hamza al-Amriki. Amriki. Look at Amriki. The American. is and Zulfi Hoxha. Zulfi Hoxha. These guys all originally had names Fred, Dick, John, and Harry. The point being is, how are they radicalized? These are intelligence assets. So here we are wiping here's the Syrian government wiping the floor with uses. Trump announces the pullout. U.S. troops start to mobilize and get the hell out of there. And all of a sudden, boom, there's an attack. Convenient attack. And you have to know some logistics in order to have a successful attack. And sources have told me that the specific attack that was done on U.S. troops in Syria, that those who performed the attack must have intimate inside knowledge in order to execute it. And that is, folks, what has happened. Who has that capability? Now, hot on the heels of the U.S. American soldiers' death, in order to create political pressure to keep, as we've seen the maniacal mustache John Bolton and Mike the Pompous Pompeo traveling around the world talking about a force for good and how we got to kill Iran and how we got to, cause sanctions on them and more sanctions on them, and we need to bomb more countries because we're a force for good. The maniacal mustache making demands all over the world. Hot on the heels of that, creating political pressure. Why? Because now we got U.S. troops that are dead in Syria. President Trump, you can't pull out American troops now, sir. There's just been U.S. soldiers that were killed. Trump's like, no, we're still pulling them out. If we pulled them out faster, they wouldn't have gotten killed. Simple as that. And right on cue. Right on cue. Here comes Netanyahu. Oh, there was a rocket. Oh, there's a rocket. It was fired. It came over the Golan Heights. What am I going to do? It came over the Golan Heights and the rocket just exploded. It just, we intercepted it with the Iron Dome. Israel's Sunday night attack involved dozens of strikes, reportedly from F-16 jets flying over Lebanon, targeting locations in and around southern Damascus. Syria's Panzer and Buk air defense missile systems have reportedly shot down an unknown number of inbound Israeli rockets, according to the early unconfirmed video. Israel also reported launching multiple cruise missiles during the sustained assaults. Local Syrians have described prolonged sustained explosions both overhead and on the ground, but it remains unclear how many Israeli rockets actually made it past Syrian defenses. The IDF has warned Syria not to respond. Look at the balls on these guys. Not to respond, which appears to be unheeded, as Israeli media is reporting that anti-air defense has been activated by inbound Syrian rockets over northern Israel and Golan Heights. The report added the Israeli Air Force now launching another wave of strikes on Damascus, conveniently and right on cue. Why can't these a-holes just shut the hell up and go and not bomb anybody? What is it with these people? It's like they have this itch for death, for destruction, for war. They have this itch. And if that was not enough, Hot on the heels. This is directly from RT. Hot on the heels of the Trump pullout from Syria, on the other end of the world, not too far away, in Afghanistan, over 100 security killed in Taliban attack on Afghan military training center. Weren't we just talking with the Taliban? Weren't we just negotiating with the Taliban? Again, the Taliban, which controls the vast swath of territory in Afghanistan. Let me tell you something, folks. The U.S. coalition forces, they only control Kabul. They control Kabul. That's why it's called the damn green zone. But the Taliban, now, here's the deal. Again, same scenario. And again, folks, it's the same playbook. It is boring at this point. It's absolutely boring at this point. Taliban's winning in Afghanistan. Just in case you didn't know. Just in case you didn't get the memo, I'm letting you know right now the Taliban is winning. They've been winning for a while. They control the majority of the territory there. They're, wanting representation in government. Because of this, U.S. administration has been in communication and negotiations with members and leaders of the Taliban several weeks ago. So the Taliban are winning. The U.S. is willing to negotiate. And guess what happens? The U.S. is actually starting to learn a lesson that Alexander the Great has learned. The U.S. is starting to learn a lesson the Russians have learned. The U.S. has learned the lesson that the French has learned, and every other country and empire that's ever been to bloody Afghanistan. And that is, you can't win there. You can't win there. It is a grave for empires. I mean, my God. It's a graveyard of empires. How much of a graveyard is it? How much of a graveyard is it? Well, we look at the amount of invasions that happened in my God, you have the Persian Empire failed. Genghis Khan failed. The Arabs tried to take it. They failed. Alexander the Great tried to take it. He failed. The Indian, the Rajas of India tried to take it. They failed. The Mughal Empire failed. The Sikh Empire failed. The British failed in Afghanistan. The Soviets failed in Afghanistan. And now the U.S., realizing that they're failing bad and bigly in Afghanistan, tries to negotiate with the Taliban and understand, hey, you know what, guys, we just come to kumbaya. Let's sacrifice it, go do a couple of chickens, and come to some sort of an agreement here. And right on cue, Taliban militants killed over 100 members of the Afghan security forces in an attack on a military compound in the central province of the Maidan Wardak, Reuters reported, citing a source in the military. We have informed that 126 people have been killed in the explosion inside the military training center. The government said earlier that 12 people have been killed, but declined to comment further. A Taliban suicide bomber drove a car bomb into the base following a firefight between the militants and security forces. Afghanistan's RogueNews reported the attack took place shortly after 8 a.m. local time. Taliban spokesperson Zabullah Mujahid claimed responsibility for the attack, also claiming on Twitter that the explosives-laden vehicle destroyed the entire base and trapped people under rubble. Video footage reportedly of the aftermath shows buildings in the compound collapsed and charred. U.S. President Trump announced a partial withdrawal of U.S. forces from Afghanistan last month to take place on an indeterminate timeline. U.S. forces have been fighting the Taliban in Afghanistan since 2001. What a productive war that is. What a progress. Because we're a force for good, folks. We're a force for good in the Middle East and everywhere in the world. Yeah. So let me get this straight. This guy, this leader of the Taliban, the supposed leader, puts out a statement. You're going to have these statements going. Either it's probably him or it's most likely not. And then on Twitter, Jack Dorsey's Twitter, where I can be banned tomorrow, where conservative and or libertarian voices could be banned tomorrow, the next day, at any moment. But the Taliban has an open account. Can someone please explain that to me? Can someone please explain to me how they can talk about deactivating Donald Trump's account. They can talk about deactivating the account of many conservative and libertarian voices, but somehow the Taliban, folks, the bloody Taliban has a Twitter line active. Why? Because it's the bloody CIA. It's the bloody cocaine import agency. And because it is the bloody cocaine import agency, that Twitter account does not get touched. Doesn't get touched. Doesn't get pinched. Doesn't get nothing. So that Twitter account is free to say, hey, you know what? Yeah, we did this and claim responsibility and do this other, all this other crap. So this is the story that's transpiring. Again, the world is flaring up. And over here, we have a government shutdown, and you got 800,000 people out of work. Good riddance. I'm sorry, you should go work somewhere else. Maybe try finding another job instead of working for the government. We don't need the bloody government. There's nothing the government can do that the private sector can't do better, more efficiently, and cheaper. There's nothing the bloody government can do. They should just let privatization occur in so many swaths and sectors and functions within the damn bloody federal government. But they always need this justification. They always need to justify to themselves why they need to have a $700 billion plus military spending budget. Why we spend trillions on war. Who the hell profits? Because it's not Main Street. It's not Main Street that's profiting. It's not the American public. You see, we can have an actual moral conversation if our nation actually went out, robbed, raped, and pillaged the entire planet, but gave those spoils of war to its population. Then there's a great debate because we're all benefiting at that point. And we can just say, dude, this is morally wrong. Even though it's benefiting us greatly, maybe we should stop. Maybe we should ease back. And it'll be hard. I'll be honest with you. It'll be pretty damn hard for a lot of people to go against that, right? If this country was out there blowing it up, grabbing resources, and the spoils of those conquests go back to the people, that would be something that would be very difficult for most people to argue against, because why? They benefit from it. But this is not even the case. So it's doubly wrong. We're getting screwed. A handful of people get the benefits, which is the top tier corporations, lobbyists, and the military incompetent complex, Bankers Inc. with Wall Street and whatnot. They get the benefits of it. And we do not. We have, again, the deep state is flaring things up, trying to get things started. It, in the long term, will fail. There's a day of reckoning coming, folks. I don't know exactly how it's going to play out. But what I do see is some movements. I see movements as the dollar enters a bear sector, enters a possible bear market coming in the dollar. I see a bull coming in on the crypto side. I see a bull in the gold side. How is this going to transpire? How is this all going to come together? I'm not exactly sure. But we're entering from some interesting times. And over here we have a government shutdown. We're trying to get a wall up, which should have been up. Markets are signaling a very bad sign. How will this turn around? There's only one solution to a crumbling economy. There's only one solution to an economy that looks like it's about to crumble. and that is kick the algos into high gear. The next few days, the next few weeks is going to be very, very interesting. I think we're going to see some further declines in many equities. We're going to see many asset prices come down. We're going to see a lot of volatility in the stock market. But I think as we approach February, I think there's going to be a turnaround that's going to shock people. I think there will be a turnaround that will shock people. You see, there's a lot of stress in the market. Why? Because of all the hoopla surrounding the government, surrounding the election, surrounding the Democrats, surrounding everything, the shutdown, the wall, all the Russia investigation, all this crap is going on. But it's coming to a head. February, all these things will be laid to rest. All the things that the market has been stressing about, that the economy has been stressing about, that Americans have been stressing about, is going to come to an end in February. Great deal of it. At which point the algos will be turned to full blast. The market is headed for a major rebound. The price right now in the market, the price that we see in the market at 24,700 as of this minute, we're going to see a major, and I do mean major, turnaround. Because it has been trending up gradually over the past month. This is what people don't realize. Folks, the last 30 days, we went from 22,000 to 24,700 as it is now. We can have another pullback of 200, 300, or 500 points Dow could shed in the next coming days. But I'm telling you right now, the dust will settle. The tension will settle in D.C. They're going to have to stick the inflation somewhere. Get ready. Get your T-shirts on. Dow 29,000. Folks, the free money machine is gonna start rolling into high gear. You're either in it or you're not. Cryptos are going to be turned around soon. The bull market is coming. I promise you that. I promise you that. You see, there's a mode going on internationally. Let me tell you what the international outlook is. Kill the dollar. Kill the dollar. So two things have to happen when you kill the dollar. And it's not going to be done overnight. It's going to take a few years. They've been doing away with the dollar since, I say about 2012 is when things started really kicking into high gear. We're about 4 to maybe 6 years out from a complete replacement of the dollar. So two things have to happen. Number one, you're going to have to shovel all the dumped dollars somewhere. You're going to have to boat haul it in various locations like Euroclear and Clearstream. You might have to boat haul it, like what my colleague Jim Willey says, in the Blix, Belgium, Liechtenstein, Ireland, Cayman Islands, and Switzerland. You might have to bolt hold it in those areas. You might have to also bolt hold it and shovel a lot of this inflation and stick it somewhere. Where are you going to stick it? Use the wonders of algos. Kick it up. Throw it into the Dow. Throw it into the stock market. You're going to see the biggest bloody asset boom there is. Secondly, you got a couple of silver bullets out there that's going to kill the dollar. Two things that need to be up in price in order to bring a swift death to the dollar. You got to bring legitimacy to Bitcoin internationally and recognize. And what's been happening, if you look at a lot of the news, there's a lot of sovereigns moving BTC. A lot of sovereigns are coming in. They're not, like I said before, folks, they ain't buying at 6,000 and 7,000. They're buying around 3,000 and change. And that's exactly where the price point's at. And I've been saying that since bloody June. Okay? Since June of 2018, I've been talking about it. We're heading there. Why? Because cryptos kill fiat. Gold kills them all. So there's going to be a boom. And I'm not talking about the physical economy. I'm talking about the phantom economy, the phantom world of quote-unquote investing. There's going to be a boom. There's going to be a wealth transfer. I'm not talking about rich to poor. I'm talking about east to west. And again, the proverbial question that I pose to everyone involved and everyone listening is this. The largest transfer of wealth is about to take place. Do you want to get paid? Do you want to get paid? Or is fear going to encumber you and relegate you to the sidelines and to the spectator stands? That is entirely your choice, your decision, and your call. And again, folks, check out our sponsors, mycbdedibles.com, mycbdedibles.com, and also check out RogueNews.com. Follow us on Twitter at RealRogueNews. Rogue News on every single podcasting app known to humanity. And then check out also RemainCalm.net. You can go one-on-one with the great one. So check it out, RemainCalm.net. And with that being said, we're over and out.